What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 34 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz campaign. So as we saw last time, an episode of debuts of guns and gunnery as Balthazar Gelt's army destroyed the border prince's force that were encroaching upon their former territory, and then up here Kurt Haldenstrad did get his debut army, or battle off rather, as well against the Vanaheimlings, and he did manage to pull it off, though I do still think this army might need at least a little bit of adjustment. The melee line, or such as it is, it just won't hold against an actual competent force, which is what concerns me. But if we maintain the theme here, wherein every single unit has to have a gun, I'm not entirely sure how we could actually make our battle line all that much stronger without replacing... not replacing maybe handgunners. Maybe we take out the Outriders and replace them with something else? I'm not sure. But we'll have to think about it. If anybody has any further suggestions, do let me know. But once again, keeping with the theme of the army. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this time, Balthazar Gelt, you are going to continue moving down towards Belagar, so I guess you're going to move into Zvorak. And, actually... Do we want to swap out any of the... You know what? Just stay in Zvorak for now. We're going to have all of these armies, however, meet up here, and then we'll swap out some units next turn. Like so. You can go here, Jamathius. And while we're going to probably delete Jamathius, actually. He's not going to command this army. And though I'm not entirely sure what exactly is going to be in this army, we should be able to figure this out. Let's trade the Outriders, I think. Let's put you into March stance for a second here. Let's trade the Outriders to you. And you can have something like that. Then, that will allow Aldebras to move down here and then trade the Outriders to Gelt, who's going to be using them. And we'll go Leonard Holtz... And we shall swap in the Great Swords. Probably not the Sigmarite Disciples. Yes, let's get the Bordermen. Let's get the Cannon. Probably. Or keep the Mortar. Maybe we keep the Mortar. Wait. We don't need the Halberdiers here. We don't need the Crossbows. What else can we put in this army? So say something like this. I guess we could put a handgunner or two in there, but we don't really have them here. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly is going to be in this army. Ooh, wait, you, Empire Captain, are what? You're disciplined. Yeah, you can join this army as well. Oh, wait, the Empire Captains don't actually buff Great Swords, but I guess we could put them on a DEMIGRYPH without buffing the Great Swords if that's what we really want. So I'll say it just annoys me, the idea that the, whatever the buff is... We are the elite? No, not that one. We have a buff somewhere. There we go. Veteran training. Infantry units excluding Great Swords. Makes me not want to put one in this army. But anyway, you're looking good for now, I think. We could probably pop a few more units in there. A couple Halberdiers, maybe. Or we could just put a bunch of cannon in this army as well. And not even bother with other range units. There's potential for that as well. We don't necessarily need this much cannon in this army, but it's better than nothing. And then, well, it'll obviously need a wizard and a warrior priest, so let's do 2 cannons. Like so. This is going to be something of our more army, but we're gonna obviously change it up as we go. Let's also summon a warrior priest for them. Actually, I don't like any of these warrior priests. Do we have any spare warrior priests? I don't think either of you do. Alright, well, these guys can, I guess, then stay here. And I guess we're gonna move you up north. What's the likelihood that we actually get a decent warrior priest over the next turn? Probably fairly unlikely, but we do still want to get you a wizard. Let's go a wizard of... let's say Grey Wizard. I was thinking about the Amethyst Wizard, but it's kind of the opposite, once again, of what the Knights of Moor stand for. Summoning spirits and all that. So yeah, no thanks. Let's go a tough Grey Wizard instead. You can join the Knights of Moor here. And then they'll just get a warrior priest, and then their army will be more or less complete for now. At least until we get more Knights of Moor and get to them properly built out. I'm not entirely sure what else would sort of match the theme of Knights of Moor, but yeah, we'll see. You know what, actually, Sigmarite Disciples might actually work very reasonably decently here. We could also swap one unit back. Well, next turn. Can't do it right now. Alrighty, well, either way, that is done. Let's continue doing what we were doing. Karl has moved and will continue moving forward. Recruiter, you need to build a couple mortars. And in fact, let's get you an army, or a lord rather, that we can set up next turn. Let's go basic training. That's not bad. And then we will swap these units up here and then send all of these guys up north together to deal with Bellacord, just so that he stops for a little while. Though, if we destroy him, then we can't get Karl his buff, which will be unfortunate. Peter's good. Bernhardt, well, is Peter good, actually? Wait. You still need your mage as well, Peter. Nah, well, you know what? Stay right there for now to borrow plus 13, still not willing to pay these guys massive amounts of money for it. And they just want way too much. And, oh, I wish I had not done that. Alright, there we go. Order is back to normal. Bernhardt is good. Nud, yes, you, my friend, are going to keep moving this way. You will enter the Darklands soon, and you got lots of things to do. Speaking of the Darklands, let's tell you to occupy Howling Rock as well, and then maybe we'll tell them to occupy Falls of Doom and whatever else they can reach. Really gotta get a bulwark going here. Though I am hoping that Karakadrin actually becomes a little bit stronger. They've been disappointing so far, but, you know, maybe it'll change if we allow them to get enough territories. Alright, who's up next? Luther Graber. Let's get you some more free company. Do you really need that many free company? I don't know, but they're so cheap. And then Volky's gonna move to El Calabad / trying to get all of these guys destroyed here. Lots of armies belonging to them, though. Lots of Noblar trappers aren't really an issue, however. Heinz Weber, you are going to keep recruiting as well. Pikes and Imperial Archers, please. And Tech Thief. Well, we got tech for you to thief. Steel Tech, please. Failure, disappointing. And your Tech Thievery, I believe, is almost up, actually. Which ain't so great. Yeah, one turn only. Damn, we really need all that extra research, so you better not fail again. Alrighty, well, I believe that's it. So unless we have something to recruit... Wait, Rupert Puttkamer. You still need to do something. Okay, I guess the Tech Thief was not the last guy. Well, let's have you just try to level up by doing something here. Ooh, actually... I do remember another thing we have to do. 1 second. You... Campaign movement range +5, eh? Not bad. Alright, and block army success. Well, that's just lovely. Let's get you specialist. I'm tempted to reset this guy, but on the other hand, if we get a better one, as in with a more viable trait, then we won't really need to. It'll be a waste, so I think we'll hold off on that as well. Eckhart, you are going to Balthazar Gelt's army, I believe, so you can continue to do so. And you're going to replace this Empire Captain, right? Although Empire training ain't so bad. Probably don't want 2 Empire Captains in this army, though. There's just not enough room. The War Wagons will eventually be replaced by steam tanks, but it'll be some time until that happens. Anyway, you guys are looking good to me. Let's go to now Altdorf, and let's switch you to Council of Burgomeisters to reduce the cost, as we will be upgrading Altdorf to Tier 5 and next time around, which will mean soon Altdorf Colleges of Magic, the Tier 5 Engineers Workshop and Hellblasters and Steam Tanks, and then of course the Imperial Palace as well, and the control that it offers as a bonus. Alright, now, Diplomacy. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, did we do this last episode? No, we did not, or else I would have done that. Alright, well, we'll start with that then. Initiate diplomacy, please. Oh wow, very close to a defensive alliance. 2k, eh? Though if we give them the military access, that'll just make them friendlier with us, and they'll probably be willing to do a defensive alliance like next turn or something. Or possibly the turn after that. Alright, Belagar still wants peace, but we don't want it, mostly because of the Wood Elf problem, so we're not going to change that. Let's do whatever else we can in terms of the buildings, but let's keep it to the critical stuff, as we do want to save up enough money to be able to upgrade Altdorf next turn. So, what's critical here? Basically just the money stuff. Which I'm not seeing a lot of, actually. Creeping jungle, spec to zoom. Okay, this is actually pretty critical. Let's get you your training field. We need to have access to huntsman for Marcus Wolfheart. We're collecting money at Astalia for now, but that's fine. Is there anywhere else where we can collect money where we're not? Correct Kern. 125 money, probably not worth our time. Hawkland, probably the same thing. Actually, 625. You know, that's not bad. We'll collect money out of Hawkland. Jungles of Green Mist will ignore Northern Grey Mountains. Not only can we build money, but we can collect money. There we go. Nearly 1,000 for that. Kirknorn. Let's upgrade the industry, but the town may be a little bit too costly right now. Yeah, let's ignore that for now. And we can't collect the income there either. Silver Pinnacles, same thing goes for you, I think. You do make some money. -4, probably not worth it. Black Tower of Arcana is negative. The Walatal's under siege by the Dark Elves and will probably continue being so, if not fall outright. We can collect the money out of Karakazor. Yeah, alrighty, not too bad. Now we're nearly back up to 15k. I do feel like we're going to be in Confederation debuff for quite a long time, so we need to be careful about our public order, but otherwise we're good. Anyway, Garrison Lord not moved, unassigned skill points, damaged building upgrade outposts available, and I do believe that's about it. Holding on to the rest of the money, Volky is almost ready as well, but we'll wait until he continues recruiting, or finishes recruiting. Wait, in fact, he has the recruiter, the leader of renown, so if we... Did we build these with him, or did we build these with the previous guy? I think we built it with him. Okay, fine, damn. I was hoping to reduce the construction costs slightly. Anyway, let's end the turn with that. The only place I think that we can get attacked right now is right here, where Kurt Haldenstraat is beside Bellacour. So let's see if Bellacour goes for him. In Great Orthodoxy, no thank you, no non-aggression, no alliances, just keep doing your own thing. If they show us that they can be at least somewhat competent by the time we get to Erengrad with our armies, maybe we'll keep them around, but if not, we'll take Erengrad for ourselves. It's a very valuable port after all. And it's not like we can trust these guys. Although they have been around for quite a while. You are... Oh, right. This little Orky army that was outside Akendorf. Now we can just auto-resolve you. Wow, these guys really do get hurt because of their glass cannon trait, don't they? Alright, well, pardon the captives. Bellacour will actually move away. Huh. I don't know where he went, but I guess it doesn't really matter that much. If he's not gonna go for Kurt, Kurt is safe and can either move here or maybe even heal up in the lands of Luan. Recruitment cost reduction for Volkmar, though he will not be maxing that out. Spectazuma's under siege again. Unny-wenny, alright, well, looks like we have somebody to fight shortly. Ambush foiled, Peter von Sigurd, Khemri has the incantation of Ksar, Krakadrin occupies another settlement, oh nice. So they did do it after all. Dieter has another trade good increase, Scribe, more research rate for Dieter. Why is Dieter getting all this stuff? Who is Dieter? Oh, it's one of these guys? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, ready for duty, Roderick Longhi, the huntsman. Alright, or Wulfric's Hunter, whatever these guys are called. Wolfheart's Hunter. Did I say Wulfric's? A wrong wolf, but yeah. Alrighty, well, we'll check out all the hunters at the same time, probably, once we have Wolfheart up and running. Now, you, Mr. General of the Empire, you currently have a bunch of pikes, and you are a Burn the Undead, and you do have Spawn Killer for killing Mazda Mundi. Oh, speaking of Burn the Undead, I'm going to change Volkmar to be the Elector Count of Sylvania. We could give you the Emperor's Finest. You are using a bunch of pikes. They're not going to be strong, but it'll be better than nothing. Yeah, why not? Let's go 2 points into Emperor's Finest, and yeah, we could get Hold the Line, but this will buff them wherever they are on the map. Alrighty. And Roderick, if these guys fail to do this, then you'll be able to join the army. Now, first things first, Altdorf. We have to upgrade you to tier 5. Tier 5 we go. Like so. And Gustal Underogen. Well, that's an ancient name. You're gonna go here. I should have actually recruited him at Grunberg instead of Altdorf, but oh well. I just gravitated towards it because it has the Conclave slash the Battle Wizard College, but whatever. You are going to go back into Imperial Taxation now as well, because we lost a little bit of cash from that. I'm going to have the Recruiter transfer his units to Gavin here, and then we're going to send Gavin out to follow Kurt. And these two are meant to function together. Alrighty, away you go. And Gavin, march stance, and also away you go. Very nice. Recruiter back to Eilhart. And let's see if there's any other... Ooh, hello. Wurzag's down here, Belagar's down here, and there's an army of the dead here as well. Lots of potential fights. I like the sound of that. Ooh, are you actually in range of Wurzag? You are indeed. Would Wurzag fight? Now, the only thing that is potentially worrisome, I suppose, about this is that if we attack Wurzag here, Belagar will probably attack us immediately after, so if we get heavily damaged, that'll be a problem. There's also the possibility that Wurzag runs away, but can we pass up the chance to actually do this right now? I feel like we cannot. Alright, screw it. Balthazar, you're gonna attack. Let's upgrade your minions. Hammer of Sigmar for you, obviously. And then you are going to get... Well, it's gonna have to be Deadly Blade, or no, Foe Seeker. And that's about it. And Balthy, let's see what you can do against an Orky host, shall we? Will he fight or will he run? Will he stay or will he go? Looks like he will fight. Alrighty, exciting times. The war paint on all those... Ooh, hello. Bone Clubber Tribe Savage Orcs. I take it these are a... these are an SFO unit. What do they got? 50... Oh, they have Banishment on them. Interesting. Stats are pretty darn nice. Still have... They got their Frenzy, they got their larger Propa Smash Kit. We gotta make sure we focus these guys down with the artillery before they get close to our poor Eldred's Guard. But anyway, it looks like a fun little fight. Let's get to it. Alrighty, well, nice for Gelt to get another battle. Since we've got him confederated, it'll be nice to have to use him over the next few turns. Good that we have him in a place where there is a lot of potential combat, and we will be starting with our first, I guess, proper battle, which will be against Wurzag. What do we got in terms of these guys? Savage Orc Biggins. I want to see the Bone Clubbers. What do you guys look like? Oh, they're pretty nice. They got those fur cloaks and those big old, well, bone clubs, I guess. Very nice. Alrighty, well, see how they stand up to artillery bombardment, because artillery we have pretty plenty of. Cannon fire, hellstorms, and of course the mortars up front as well, just to try to annoy the enemy. We are obviously going to be targeting the bone clubbers from a distance as best we can, though with the 55% physical resistance, they should be pretty good at resisting any damage, even from our artillery pieces. I'd actually be curious how many shots one can take directly from a Hellstorm rocket battery. Might actually be nice to put a couple magic damage dealing, like a Lichbone Pennant or something, on our on at least one Hellstorm rocket battery. Could be helpful. Anyway, here comes some Force Goblin Spider Riders chasing down one of our mortar wagons, but Gelt's going to counteract that, and the Eldred's Guard should be able to see them off just fine. The artillery bombardment continues, and it looks like now the Luminarch and a couple of the cannons are going to be targeting the big boy over here. This poor rogue idol. I wonder how many Luminarch hits it can take before it goes down. I think I see the charge up in the distance, glowing brighter and brighter. There we go, nice shot. Looks like that connects, and a couple more hits should see the rogue idol off. Not a lot of enemy units have actually gotten to us yet either, and ooh, looks like the rogue idol will actually collapse due to cannon fire, rather than the rather than the Luminarch, but that's just fine. 2 minutes in so far, and the enemy has still not really reached our lines. At the very least, all of our melee units are at full HP, and we've been doing a very decent amount of damage with our artillery pieces, though the trolls do get closer and closer. Of course, it does look like the enemy is wasting quite a lot of time doing the dance and avoiding our artillery shots. But I'm not sure that's actually a good idea in this particular situation. We have so many artillery pieces firing, forcing so many of the enemy units to do the dance, that they're taking a long time to approach us. So long, in fact, that it seems that we're probably over time going to do just as much damage as if they didn't do the dance at all. Also, we do have a very nice position here with this little elevated hill here, as opposed to, you know, the non-elevated hills. And I feel like the enemy really needs a decent amount of units, a proper mass, to actually charge through our battle lines. Well, it'll be up to the trolls here. They're going to charge on and attack the Eldred's Guard. We're pretty full of HP right now. We'll see how long that can last, though. More trolls coming in towards our main line. The Luminarch firing, I believe, at Wurzag now. And here comes some Boar Boys as well, though we do have Gelt counteracting some of this with both a... well, Helm of Discord, and somebody, I believe, did get the Glittering Robe. Okay, so it's these guys over here. It looks like our melee line is holding. The enemy is charging with large units, and we got plenty of spears, both the regular variety and the Eldred's Guard, to hold the line. Still have not seen any action from the enemy Bone Clubbers as yet, but I do believe that they are finally drawing closer. The first of the enemy infantry units will be these Savage Orc Biggins. But there's the Bone Clubbers in the distance. Let's see how much HP they have left. Actually, these guys are nearly routed by the time they've gotten to us, though their model count is still pretty decently high. Balance of power is about 70% in our favor-ish. And it doesn't look like it's going so well for poor Wurzag. Alrighty, Gelt's also in the middle of his formation. I really do feel like we should get him some Pegasus Knights. I feel like they'll fit right in with this army. And there we go, finally, the Biggins have been joined by the Bone Clubbers. Let's see how many of our spears they can club before they're out of here. Stats-wise, they should be able to defeat spears without too much trouble, but of course they're pretty badly damaged and we have various buffs. And of course the enemy will continue taking morale damage due to the fact that, well, we continue firing upon them and killing them there. It looks like a trade of spells, both us and the enemy casting at the same time, though I do imagine that we managed to do more damage, especially as the Glittering Robe is still protecting our units. Bounce power switched to about 80, maybe 85% in our favor. Wurzag's down to about half HP, and the enemy infantry line is looking like it's about to collapse. Not really much left in the enemy army at all. This little blob of enemies fighting together, and though I don't imagine for too much longer either. And it looks like just as the enemy were charging in, at least some of them are going to turn around, and we are going to push forward. Another nice shot from our Hellblaster, though it looks like it clipped some of our Eldred's Guard. And definitely got to be careful with those things. Alrighty, and I kept trying to get the Luminarch to shoot Wurzag in the background, but it was having a tough time. While we did have an advantage on this hill here, Wurzag was sort of behind a couple of little hills as well, and the Luminarch does need a straight line of sight. So, yeah, annoying there, but otherwise we're looking pretty good. Minimal damage to us, about 100 units lost, and the enemy is shattered. We will, of course, take our time and get as many kills as we can. Obviously, the enemy army isn't in march stance or anything like that, so we do want to destroy them. Nice shot from the Luminarch, sniping Wurzag off his boar, and now it's just a matter of allowing our artillery to continue doing work. Man, before I was thinking we reduced the artillery in this army slightly, but honestly, I'm kind of loving the amount of artillery fire that we get. It might even be a little bit unfortunate to replace the war wagons. They have done decent damage, 8k and 7.7k. Let's compare them to the cannons here. It's a spearman unit. Cannon, you've got 9 kills, but you've actually done less damage than the mortars have. But of course the mortars were firing into blobs of infantry, and the cannons were by and large firing at boar boys and the rogue idol and Wurzag, so there's obviously going to be a disparity. Anyway, let's speed this up and just knock a few more units out with our Hellstorms, who will of course have gotten a pretty crazy amount of kills. Yeah, I think we replaced the cannons with Hellblasters and we replaced the mortars with steam tanks. Once we increase the capacity for steam tanks, I may even bring the mortars back. It depends. I'm not entirely yet sure how exactly the final version of this army will look like, but I do really like the Eldred's Guard in here. Plus, they look really swell for spearmen, and we gotta make good use of them. Anyway, a close victory apparently, but I think that is only due to the fact that our ammunition was depleted. Otherwise, quite a nice battle against Wurzag, and I believe a nice defeat trade as well. Alrighty, there we go, a fun little fight, though once again the Tempelhof Luminarch does get focused. I'm very happy that Gelt is already getting some Knights fights, even as he just debuted. Can't wait for the same for Volkmar and for Wolfheart. Now, in terms of the damage, really it's only the Tempelhof Luminarch, so not all that concerning. Can also take the money from pardoned captives. And we will also have gotten the defeat trait for Mr. Wurzag. There was another extra physical resistance plus 10%, which is nice. Now we could catch up to this guy, but wait. If we go out of trenches, we would still have ambush stance available. I do like that. We are no longer in our own territory, of course. I wonder how much damage we'd take if we auto-resolve this. Too much, maybe? Never trust the auto-resolve. Well, either way, let's get some points, shall we? Or use some points before we do, because it'll increase our capabilities here. Let's go Inspiring Presence. We probably want to get Emperor's Finest for our spears and Imperial Gunnery as fast as possible, though of course we'll also want Mighty Forge, so Gelt will have a lot of red line things to spread his... spread his spells, or his points out, rather. I'm just thinking whether we should get any of the other spells right now. 11 and 8, I'm just checking the mana costs here. I still feel like we should probably go for the red line first. Yeah, fine, let's go Inspiring Presence. Alrighty, that looks good. Warrior Priest, you don't have Shield of Faith as yet, but you will. And you already have 2 points in Soothsaying, but I think we'll go Impassioned next, just so that you don't die. You are tough, but you could be tougher. Alrighty, Balthy, go after this, please. And oh, wait. You have the Patrol Captain with Handgunners. We should probably get to you the Patrol Captain with the other one. The Halberdiers. We should also probably get you one of these. We have another Trickster Shard currently on Theon, though it... Oh wait, that's an enchanted item. You're currently using the Cloak of Molten Metal, so we wouldn't be able to use that anyway. You need an arcane item. Scroll of Leeching, kinda meh, I've never been a big fan. Still a bunch of Obsidian Lodestones. You know what, we're probably gonna swap those out as well. And we do have a Potion of Healing, but only just the one, alas. Damn, we keep getting Shield of Taloses. Potion of Strength. Not for you, but I just realized that we have another one that we could potentially use. Now, Sword of Battle and Sword of Striking. These things confuse. Sword of Anti-Hero's Down. I was really hoping for a healing potion there. Iron Curse Icon. There are certainly uses for it, but I feel like we confuse them. Another Brass Cleaver, very much worth it. Dragonbane Gem, Talisman of Rebirth, we have another sword. You know what, take out the Berserker Sword. And the Sword of Battle. Come on, Healing Potion. No, another Crown of Command. I think these are not worth our time, though, so we're going to fuse these as well. And we get a Sword of Bloodshed. Alright, nice pickup. Not for you, perhaps, but a nice pickup nonetheless. Alrighty, well, I guess you're going to hold a Scroll of Leeching, because there ain't much in the way of arcane items that we can offer you, Gelty. Obsidian lodestones. Oh, yeah, there's a trickster shard of it. You know what? No, I prefer the trickster shard to the scroll of leeching. I hadn't realized that we had one. Alright, lovely. And 9.9k, eh? I have to consider that. But either way, that's for now. We will attack you. Auto-resolve, please don't hurt us too badly. And let's see. Well, we certainly got more damage than we did in that battle, but, well, what can you do? Can you go back into ambush is the question. Yes, indeed you can. Alrighty, you're gonna go into ambush, you're gonna start moving back towards our territory. We'll see what Mr. Bellegarde does next turn. If our ambush gets foiled, there's a very high likelihood that he would attack us. Now, what we also want to be doing here is...
We're born to hunt.
Sending you up this way. Can we go march stance? No, we cannot. We have to go regular stance. Yes. Alrighty, go here. And then we might as well summon you a warrior priest. I still don't like any of these. This one at least gives the leadership war increase size. Let's do the leadership war increase. Although I guess if we're going this way, monster tracker increase interception may be helpful as well. Aggressive, I feel like, doesn't offer that much for a warrior priest. Yeah, let's do one of these guys. Yes. Like so, you're gonna join this army. We will also need the wizard to join it as well. You're not a wizard. You were the wrong guy. Where's the right guy? That's you, buddy. We should also check the light wizards. Ah, you can't move. Okay, fine. Fine. And that's the way you want it to be. You're gonna go here. We're gonna pop all these units into your army. Like so. And then Aldebras, you are going to swap these Outriders to Gelti. But for now, we're going to pop you into ambush, and we're going to put you outside of Zvorak. Well, this isn't really an army, it's just a smattering of units we had remaining, so yeah, just stay as you are. Alrighty, Jamathius, you are no longer needed. I don't think we'll be using you to recruit stuff, at least not right now, so let's hold off on that. Eggcart is good. Let's see who else needs to move. Karl. Karl needs to move, and in fact, can he reach? He can, not in trencher stance, mind you, but he can certainly reach. Well, lovely. Alrighty, let's get another block army going if we can. Yes, we can. And Karl, you're going to be moving in to attack the Great Skull Lakes. Which we will do in a second. So a few more moves around and then we'll attack Azag. What do we got in terms of the battle here? Well, a decent number of troops if nothing else. Although I doubt that they have any kind of chance against Karl's army. Let's trust that they'll give us some kind of fight at the very least. Wolfram Custerman, you have taken out the orcs. So great job to you, friendo. I guess we could send you southward towards Ekrond, and how much do the Bloody Hands have left? 5 territories. It would be nice to take Ekrond, though, and maybe Bitterstone Mine. Keep giving it to the dwarves here. And these guys still don't like us very much, even though we did give them a very nice gift in the form of the Stone Mine Tower. If we keep killing Bellegarde, they're not going to be happy. You know what? Maybe Wolfram... And the Black Gulf is contested. I take it we can't heal here, can we? No, we cannot. You know what? Maybe we either go to Matorka, or we go down this way to help out. And then we just loop around, attack Grunty Mingle, for example. Alright, fine. We're just gonna assume that we'll be fine. Well, let's send you here, out to Zvorak as well. A few too many armies on this side, but it's okay. We'll deal with it. They will spread out shortly, I'm sure. Wolfram Custerman, that was you. Peter, what do you have? Your ambush got foiled again, and oh hello. Transiform, I do have to wonder whether you're about to attack Tobaro here.
Huntsman General.
Oh, we're at plus 15 now. Would these guys be willing to trade us Tobaro now? Tobaro, minus 0.8. Wow, really? 4.2k, 4.3k for this. Here's the problem. If these guys don't take this out, then not so great for us.
Huntsman General.
They could also attack us. There's probably, or there could be another stack here at Skavenblight, although I can't quite tell. And these guys might be recruiting. They probably are. I'm really tempted to take Tobaro and then try to have Peter hold it against the Skaven. Won't really help us all that much, but if we can draw these guys out into a battle, it might be nice.
Tracker of
I don't trust the ambush anymore. It's failed for him like 50 times in a row. Also, you, before I forget, let's get you Potion of Healing, and let's get you Accusation, and we have no ancillaries on you. Let's see what we can do here. Enemy hero success chance Watchman on Kurt Haldenstraw. You can't actually use these guys. Well, isn't that sad? Research campaign movement range, that's all fine. In fact, really the smugglers shouldn't be on lords at all, but I'll deal with that later. Campaign movement range, initiate corruption, meh. None of this really helps out. I guess we could put a hunter in this army, but probably not right now. Entertainer, campaign movement range. Again, that doesn't work for the army. Diplomatic relations with all factions. Wound, bone picker, bailiff. Yeah, not happy with a lot of the options here. Very much meh, I think. You know what? I'm not sure what to do with him yet. We'll let's skip him for now. Let's just do whatever else we have remaining, and then let's attack with Karl. I feel like maybe we can do... You know what? This is what we'll do. We'll see if we have money remaining at the end of the turn, and if we do, then we'll be willing to pay the Wood Elves that 4k. Generally speaking, I'm not willing, but who knows? Maybe that'll change. You go for the Falls of Doom, please, while we're here. Alright, Luther. How are we doing down here? Oh, incidentally, Volky, you're ready to go to Al-Khalabad, and on top of that, we are ready to change your skill set. Alright, you know what? Let's go to Al-Khalabad first. Like so. That's not problematic. We're just gonna colonize it, and then we'll wait. If the ogres attack us, great. If they don't, well then, we'll go to them. Then what we'll do is we'll recruit one more Free Company militia here. We'll obviously change up this army as we go. Just got whatever we could recruit as fast as we could. Then we will go to Electric Counts. Yes, Electric Counts. Wolfram. We're going to swap you out of your Electric Count of Sylvania, because I want the leadership per rank achieved given to Volkmar. Honestly, the Free Company militia are probably going to need it. Like so. And then Volkmar, where are you, friendo? You're going to go in here.
Sigmar's will.
Is the Stalberg's letter give you anything useful for your particular army? Leadership when fighting against undead. Yeah, okay, that's useful. You'll definitely be fighting against undead. And you could actually use the missile resistance as well, and because you have your War Altar, which is susceptible to missile fire. What's your missile resistance stats? 35, isn't so bad. Which also, okay, you don't need the Bailiff. There's probably other stuff that we can swap out, but we can do that later. First of all, you are going to reset your skills now. Yes, obviously your skills were trash. We are going to get you the Grand Shield of Faith, the Grand Soulfire, and Second Nature to reduce that cooldown by 50%. Mere Mortal Men, giving Frenzy for Free Company, and Blessed Bullets for Free Company as well. Magic Armor-Piercing Projectiles. Beautiful. And we'll be combining Free Company with Sigmarite Disciples in his army. War Eternal to buff up the charge bonus of the Free Company. Tools of Absolution, everybody gets flaming attacks and more armor-piercing weapon damage? Sure. And Blessed Holy War gives us an extra capacity for Witch Hunters and Warrior Priests. Works for me. And then lastly, the Work of God gives us Seduce Units budget reduction, Casualty Punishment rate plus 20, and passive ability Strength of the Penitent. In melee, losing combat gives you 15% physical resist and 15 melee defense. A very nice ability, and is generally on the Flagellants, which is why we're not building those in this army. Alright, next up we got 4 remaining, so I think we're gonna go Root Marcher, Inspiring Presence, and then I guess Pistol Corps to buff up those Free Company further, as this army will be built quite a bit around them. And there we go, 53 charge bonus, quite nice. Their stats are still going to be a little bit lackluster, and Volkmar, to buff up a bunch of Free Company further, you're probably going to need Empire Captains, which we can't recruit here? Why? We can recruit them here, alright, fine. Let's do this. So you're going to go here, Empire Captains. Regal. Do we want any Witch Hunters in his army? I guess we could put one, since he does buff them. Man, I don't want the crazy amount of units of this type in his army, though. Yeah, maybe we'll wait on the Witch Hunter. I'm not sure they offer enough in this particular army. I also really don't like any of these Empire captains. We could mill through them, but you know what? We'll see if we have money remaining. Anyway, the only thing I think that we're going to do right now is attack with Karl. So, Karl, you are going to get your last few points. Oh, you get another Heroic Knightly Band point. Or just one at least. To get an increase to capacity. Let's get 1 point in Mentor. 1 point in Heroic Knightly Band, and then we'll go Deadly Blade as we start making Karl a strong fighter. You, Theon, are going to go for improved scrying techniques for that magic item drop chance. Lovely. Can't wait to get more wizards with all that. Faith's Bastion for you, and Shield of Faith as well, Thyrus. Let's also get your replenished troops. And we should move into Organize so that we can get Valet as fast as possible. Karl will be fighting a lot, so he can definitely use more magic item drop chance. Alrighty, here we go. Time to fight Azag at least one more time. Looks like a fun little fight, although I don't imagine the Gobos stand too much of a chance.
My rule is absolute.
Alrighty, ooh, I like the color scheme of this map. Well, not color scheme, the lighting. I really like the lighting on this map. Very, very nice. I don't know, for some reason it looks very appropriate for the Empire units. Anyway, regardless, here we go. Karl's gonna fight as well. Let's see how well he does as compared to Gelt, or maybe how well Gelt did as compared to Karl. They have very, very different armies, though while Karl does have the Sunmaker on his side and the Hammer of the Witches, his is not an artillery-focused army, but by and large, an cavalry and infantry-focused army. I really enjoy watching both of the types of armies fight. Granted, artillery is always fun to watch wreak havoc in the enemy lines, but there's something about infantry clashes that's really quite enjoyable as well. It's why I enjoy playing the Khornate factions quite a bit. Although I guess in SFO, Khornate factions can actually get artillery superiority or range superiority via the updated skull cannons. Anyway, speaking of cannons, our cannons firing into the blobs of enemy Gobos and Orcs here, and are going to be followed up by the Sunmaker as well. Very nice. Oh, you gotta love these units. Oh, we should be able to make quite a dent in the enemy infantry at the very least before the main enemy host gets to us. It is going to take them quite some time. A nice shot from the Hammer of the Witches, knocking a few orc boys out of the way as well. Now, the main fight, I think, is actually not going to be in the center, because that is a pile of Gobos that isn't really threatening. On the flanks, however, we have a decent amount of boar boys and trolls on this side as well. We will have to try to counter them with our Royal Altdorf Gryphites, as this will be their debut battle, and now they look pretty fantastic too. Damn. Oh, I really like this light blue color scheme. And with the red, this works really nicely. Damn, we gotta get more stuff with this color scheme. Wait, what did the regular, 1 second. It's been a while. You guys don't have any, yeah, it's just this type of armor. Yeah, I really like the Royal Altdorf Gryphite color scheme. I feel like I would have seen that color scheme before, but I never paid attention to it, or just didn't remember it. I like a whole army with this color scheme. And yes, I'm going to continue getting distracted by this. Anyway, here come the enemy forces. It looks like the Royal Altdorf Gryphites will be getting into it with the boar boys, and since this is the debut of the DEMIGRYPHs, I think we'd like to watch them do their thing, at least to some degree. Same thing on the other side of the map, of course, but probably in a little bit as the enemy boar boys get closer to us. Now, let's double check what the damage is on that charge. We took maybe 10% to 15%. The boar boys are about a half HP and will be going down shortly, though we're probably going to move away before the trolls do too much damage. The rest of the enemy army is moving closer to us. We have a nice little half circle sort of fort made out of infantry. And we do have our single summon handgunners who are going to try to knock out those trolls, which we obviously don't want to hit our own units, so we're gonna back up. Here comes the main enemy force. Grenadiers are probably going to knock out at least a few of the Gabo units before they can do anything, though I don't imagine Gabo units will do too much to our infantry anyway. Alright, and here come even more enemy units. There's those grenades. You gotta love this. Watching the Imperial infantry hold against just massive piles of enemies is pretty darn glorious. So, like I said, this flank and this flank are where the main portions of the fights are looking to be. Karl has also dropped down on the enemy lord and 2 hits in, and the enemy lord, well, Azag specifically, is going to be booking it out of there. Yeah, Karl's just been making really short work of most of the enemy lords that he's been fighting lately. It'll be interesting once he encounters Archaon or Kolek or, I don't know, Valkia, Be'lakor, maybe even Azazel. And there's a decent amount of lords that would give him a decent fight. We just gotta get to them at some point. Speaking of a decent fight, look at our infantry holding back the Orc Tide. Oh, lovely, there's a Black Orc Big Boss here fighting our Warrior Priest. There's more shots from those grenades, and Urnon's Thunderbolt coming down. Lots of places to look. I don't know where to turn to. Our Royal Altdorf Graphite's also fighting together with the Reiksguard here, holding back and killing as many trolls as they can, and in fact, running after the trolls that are routing in the hopes that they are not allowed to come back. Otherwise, the Reiksguard are holding the flanks quite well and are surrounding a unit of Orc boys. And it does look like a lot of the enemy infantry are starting to back off. They have certainly failed to breach our lines. Damn, I really like this color scheme. I gotta look into doing some filters, maybe. Get more maps looking like this. It's just the right amount of grainy, yet bright enough to see everything. Alrighty, well, it looks like most of the enemies have backed off. We're just going to regroup our battle lines. Of course, the enemy will come back, but this will allow our artillery to continue firing, and it'll allow our cav on the flanks to continue doing their work. The Royal Altdorf Graphites are going to back off just in case they get focused down by the enemy range units. Those said enemy range units are themselves being focused by our Sunmaker. Or I guess the Sunmaker. Alrighty, and we got a spell cast coming in on us, and that's looking like, ooh, it's going to knock one of the Sunmaker models off of the map. Nice use of that particular spell in Gaze of Mork, I believe. Or is it? Yes, it is Gaze of Mork, okay. Alright, and the enemy is returning for round 2. Most of the army has regrouped and they will be heading towards our main line again. Looks like the Boar Boys are still trying to fight on this flank, but I'm not sure they're really achieving all that much. They're certainly unable to break through the break through the great swords. Break through the break swords. Alrighty, and Karl's even moving in to help them out, mostly because the DEMIGRYPHs are a little bit busy killing the other Boar Boys up here. Alrighty, and here comes that second round of enemy infantry towards our main battle line. We are regrouped, and the Altdorf Graphites are just going to go back behind the Great Swords and the Imperial Foot to wait for the enemy to charge in, and then charge the enemy again immediately after. And there they go. Once again, gotta pay attention to them since this is the DEMIGRYPH debut. Later on, we'll probably build an army that's a little bit centered around DEMIGRYPHs, as in not just the halberdier variety that we'll be using, although I guess the Graphites aren't technically a halberdier variety, they're a hammer variety, but otherwise, both Karl and Volkmar are currently using halberdiers, but mostly in place of regular infantry halberdiers. Alrighty, and it's round 3. I guess more gobos are backing up, and boar boys and trolls coming back in, only to be once again countercharged by those Royal Altdorf Gryphites. They're not going to apply too much splash damage to our infantry that way. Bounce of power is moving up, and it actually looks like the enemy will shatter off of that, failing to breach our lines. Looks like we took about 25% damage on a lot of our units, but probably actually even less than that, because of the model counts, regardless of the HP damage, haven't dropped all that significantly. Alright, very nice. How much damage did you guys manage to do here? 42 and 20k. Very, very nice. Alrighty, we'll check how much damage everybody did post-battle. Now, their color scheme looking a little bit bloody now, but still quite nice. And are the eyes of the... Are the eyes of the demigryphs also blue? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, they are. Wait. I want to see the regular demigryphs. And yes, this is extremely important. I am taking time to do this. Are they yellow? I can't quite tell. I think... Oh, they're actually red, the color of the armor. I think. Kind of hard to tell. Could be just blood everywhere. Trying to find another demigryph. This is super important. I'm sure. Whatever. We'll check next time we see the demigryphs. Anyway, we don't really need to chase the enemy because it is a garrison, plus Azag was in the settlement as well. There were a few units there as well, but I don't think we care about them all that much. Very nice. Decisive victory. Azag's main force here in the Darklands, I think, destroyed, and I'm not entirely sure whether he can recover from this. Alright, there we go, and not too bad. Couldn't identify which of these units belonged to this army, but not a big deal. We'll chase them down if we have to, or otherwise ignore them. They are, I believe, blocked as well, so yeah, otherwise 82 units lost, less than 10% damage. Once again, the Sunmaker cleaning house with 128,000 damage, a very respectable 22k on the Hammer of the Witches, and 23k on the Royal Altdorf Gryphites. The second unit of demigryphs didn't get much play, but that particular flank didn't get assaulted nearly as much as the leftmost flank where the Royals were, so that's just fine. All the Reiksguard did quite well as well, getting close to 20k on many of them. Great Swords and Imperial Foot all held the line admirably, and as usual, very nice, nearly 40k damage on all of the Bordermen. Alright, everybody did well, and we didn't even do too much damage via magical, well, damaging spells, I should say. We did repeatedly cast Harmonic Convergence and a couple of Midnight Winds, but that was pretty much the limit of what we did magic-wise. We're gonna occupy the place. Yeah, we could loot and occupy it, but 500 gold is really not all that worth it. Free banner. Better than nothing. And we will of course heal to full. The enemy army is it is in range to go back to Uzkalak, but there really isn't all that much there anyway, so I don't think that's going to make any kind of difference, and Karl shouldn't have too much trouble taking Uzkalak and whatever else he goes to. He might try to go briefly to Saber Mountain. I haven't decided yet, but we'll have to see, and though we shall have to see next time, as once again we're out of time, and I am going to have to call it. So next time we try to go for Beligar, Ironhammer, and well, basically anybody here. The Balthazar Guild has a lot of potential targets, so he needs to break through all of this here and take all of these territories for us, together with the help of Wolfram and Aldebras, maybe. Though Aldebras does need to be switched to... oh, wait, actually. Leonard Holtz, rather, is gonna need to be switched to a... probably... a Grand Master. I mean, we don't really have enough Knights of More to actually make good use of it right now, but nonetheless. And we probably should still switch him out. Anyway, these guys will continue advance. Maybe we'll attack Carrick Buftar. Somebody here is going to fight Balthi. Volkmar may get his debut next time around. And lastly, we're going to have to try to figure out what exactly we do with Peter. Do we trade these guys? Do we have enough money to do it? Or do we just keep waiting and hope the Transform goes after them? Or rather than... you know, failing an ambush like 50,000 times in a row. Well, we'll try either way. I'm sure we'll get some good battles, so stay tuned for those. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.